Slightly different camera angle today because it just keeps going out of focus every time I try to put it where it usually is. That's what he said.
The Chaser of Souls. Before I start, I must say I'm a huge fan. I find your videos hilarious and really truthful. I think more people should watch. Number 1 is, you have said before that Halloween 5 was your favorite in the Halloween series. Why so?
It's hard to say. Although Halloween 4 was excellent, I thought that Danielle Harris really took her acting up a notch in Halloween 5 when she became mute. I thought it was terrific. I believe she was 10 when she did Halloween 5. Her character was 9, but in real life she was 10. Her acting was amazing. I thought the story, continuing the story, it was just a year later, it was kind of rushed, but I thought the story was good. It's like Superman 3. In Superman 3, a lot happened. You know, he turned evil, they had a lot of subplots. Again, in some films it doesn't really work in, like The Girl Next Door, but Superman 3 I thought it worked in, and I thought it worked in this. They went from the party to back to the house, and I just really thought that was very well done. The deaths were good, the Michael Myers was good, Danielle Harris was excellent, the girl who plays Rachel was really good.
Number 2 is, who is / was your favorite wrestler?
Shawn Michaels.
Number 3 is, what are your views on The Undertaker's WrestleMania winning streak? Do you think it will end? Should it end? If so, who should end it?
I couldn't really care less. I'm not a big Undertaker fan. Probably Randy Orton, to be honest.
Number 4 is, if Halloween 3D is actually made, what should the plot be?
Halloween 3 is on IMDb. I don't know if it's going to be in 3D, but it's listed on IMDb, not by Rob Zombie, and the girl who plays Laurie Strode is in it as Laurie Strode. So is it a remake of Halloween 4? You know, they should never have remade Halloween in the first place, and are they really going to go and remake every single Halloween film? Because this is ridiculous.
Peter Finn Films. What's your favorite fast food chain?
Burger King.
Have you seen any of the sequels to Psycho? If so, what do you think of them?
Not seen any of them.
What's your favorite comic strip?
I don't read comic books. I used to collect the Beano. I don't know if you have it in America. It's a UK comic. But I recently bought one just to, you know, for nostalgia, and it's shit. That's basically the only comic I've ever really bought.
Have you ever seen The Big Bang Theory? If so, what do you think of it?
I've never seen it, but I've heard it's good. It's just, I don't actually watch a lot of TV anymore, because are there any decent shows on air anymore? I mean, now that 2.5 Men is over, there's no good shows on TV anymore. Everything I watch is online.
Are there any reality shows you would actually like to be on?
Not really. I'm a fussy eater, so like if you go on stuff like Big Brother or I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, I'd be fucked, wouldn't I? They're the only real reality. Well, I don't watch Big Brother anymore, but the only really reality shows I watch. So I'm a shy person as well, so I don't think I'd do well on any of them.
Of all the different ethnic groups, e.g., Chinese, Italian, Mexican, etc., which is your favorite?
Definitely Italian. I mean, Mexican, I don't like tacos. I love burritos, but Chinese, not a big fan. I like some food, but it's mainly Italian because I love spaghetti and pizza, you know, lasagna, and all of this, and Italian is just awesome.
Jordan Winehouse. I know your next Q&A isn't for another month, but I decided to ask anyway. In your October Q&A, I noticed you said some of your favorite games were James Bond, yet later in a Q&A, you said that you hated James Bond.
You will notice a lot that my mind changes. I might be bipolar. My mind changes a lot and my opinion changes over time. That's why I don't really want to do a top 10 best movies ever, because it changes constantly. That's why I don't really want to do my top 10 actors. But this was not a contradiction. The games, this is going back to middle school, so my memory's vague, but the games I thought were really fun. I played it with a friend. They were really great fun, and you didn't really have to like the movies to like the game. Whereas the movies are completely boring to me.
What's your honest opinion of Home Alone 3?
People have been asking me to review Home Alone 3, but the fact of the matter is, I don't think I can cover anything that Nostalgia Critic didn't cover. Halloween 3 to me is meh. It's meh. It's better than 2 and 4 because the kid can act. Culkin couldn't act. I'm sorry, people seem to misinterpret that. Home Alone 1 is so awesome, you don't care if Culkin can't act, but Culkin couldn't act as a kid. Home Alone 3 was good, the kid could act. Well, it wasn't good, it was meh. There were problems, like Critic pointed out, so I don't see the point in reviewing it. I can't really talk about much, it's just there.
Which out of the three do you prefer? Family Guy, Simpsons, or South Park?
Gotta go with South Park.
Are there any Tim Curry movies that you actually like?
Scary Movie 2 was okay. I think he was in The Muppets Treasure Island, but I haven't seen that since I was a kid, so not that I know of.
In one Q&A, you said you weren't such a big fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd. Yet, in your 8 Crazy Nights review, you used a clip from his Friday the 13th video. Do you like that review? Because he bashes Friday the 13th related product, and you watch him occasionally.
I'll be honest, right? First of all, I love that quote, "Logic is for pussies," that's why I used that. Secondly, I saw his Grinch review, his Grinch thing for Christmas. That was hilarious. I've been watching a lot more of him, and he's not that bad, it's just Nostalgia Crick's a lot better.
Who do you think the villain in Toy Story 2 is, Stinky Pete or Al?
You know, I actually haven't seen Toy Story 2 in years. Stinky Pete!
Who was your favorite Toy Story character?
It's weird because my favourite character is Woody, but yet I prefer Tim Allen over Tom Hanks.
What is your favorite literature?
Pass!
Who is your favorite Nickelodeon character in terms of both cartoon and live action?
Cartoon, Squidward from SpongeBob. Oh no, silly me, I got the diet shampoo. As for live action, Drake Bell? I don't know, I actually do like Drake Bell. Yeah, Drake Bell, that'll do.
Thoughts on the Rock Band series?
It's decent. A lot of people have problems with Guitar Hero. I don't mind Guitar Hero. Rock Band is better. But, you know, they're both decent in my opinion.
Daniel Locks 42992. For your next Q&A, here are some questions. Number 1. What is your least favorite movie cliché?
That's actually an interesting question because there's a lot I hate. I think my main one is when someone is in a coma or in a hospital bed, mainly in a coma, and we don't know if they're going to survive, and then a person's next to them and they're holding their hand and they give a huge dramatic speech, and then to end it, the person in the coma either wakes up or their hand twitches. I fucking hate that. That's my least favourite. My second least favourite is probably when there's a big explosion or something and the hero dies just to reveal that, oh no, in fact he's alive. It's mainly the hospital one though, because I've seen that so many times.
Number 2. Which trilogy do you like better? Star Wars, Indiana Jones, or Lord of the Rings?
That's like comparing which cancerous disease of the testicles you like better, because I hate Star Wars, and I hate Lord of the Rings, and I haven't seen Indiana Jones, so I'll go with Indiana Jones.
Number 3 is, are you a fan of the Super Mario games?
Not really. I prefer Sonic.
Number 4 is, have you seen any of Kevin Smith's movies, such as Clerks, Mallrats, etc., period, question mark?
You know, I should have really researched this before hitting record, because Kevin Smith, I don't know what movies he's done, but I haven't seen Clerks and I haven't seen Mallrats.
Number 5, last question. Are you a fan of Quentin Tarantino and his movies, i.e. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, etc., period?
I'm going to lose credibility as a reviewer for this, but let's just face it, I'm honest, I'm not going to pretend I've seen movies that I haven't. I need to see Pulp Fiction, I need to see Reservoir Dogs, because I like Harvey Keitel, and I haven't seen Kill Bill, that one doesn't interest me. The only Quentin Tarantino movie I've seen that I know of is From Dusk Till Dawn, which I really hated.
40000 Gamer. What are your thoughts on the game Splatterhouse?
Never played it.
Mr. Andis Hughes, what's your favorite film?
Okay, this is the last review, I'm going to say this. Please do not send questions that I've already answered. From now on, I'll answer these questions, whether they're repeated or not, but from the next episode onwards, if someone asks me a question that I've already answered, I'm going to completely ignore it. The Lost Boys is my favourite film.
Do you like The Ring?
Surprisingly, yes. It wasn't scary, but I just thought it was a good film.
XX Chess World XX. Will you ever review Sweeney Todd with me? as that repair review you owe me as soon as you get your life back to normal.
But Sweeney Todd was awesome! But, I don't know if you really want to review it, I guess.
First-time viewers, how do you feel about the 2010 reviews?
Yeah, they started off shit. Then, the number 23 onwards, most of my reviews have been awesome.
How was your new year?
Boring and depressing as fuck when it hit midnight. Because I was around two couples. And I was alone.
Dial Fox. Sorry about your wife. And my question is, what is your opinion on the Saw movies?
Never seen them, don't interest me.
Shorty Maker 2. My question is, are there any giant plans? Great question.
Again, I answered this before, putting together a book, putting together an album, and also, in a few years or so, there's gonna be a cinematic Venom, the movie.
Sorio Fan 2. Sorry about your wife, mate. 1. Do you ever have any real problems with reviews with another person?
I don't know if you mean like if someone else does reviews and I dislike them, or with collabs. Either way, no.
2. Do you write scripts, or do you just roll straight with emotions? Or both?
98% of my reviews are scripts. Like halfway through recording, I'll probably randomly come up with an idea and I'll say it to the camera. Sometimes in editing, I edit in something that was never planned. But most of the time it is scripted, yeah.
3. What's your opinion on the Chucky series?
Said this in a previous review. 1 and 2 were great. 3 was shit. Bride of Chucky was good. And Seed of Chucky was shit.
4. How come you don't review TV shows? And do you plan to?
Already answered this. Maybe.
5. Are there any real movies that scare you?
I'm a big wimp when it comes to ghosts. The Others with Nicole Kidman actually scared me. I thought Pet Sematary was scary for about 10 minutes. I'm going to have to wrap this up because he's fussing. But they're the two main ones that come to mind.
6. And are you gonna give Home Alone 3 a review?
Answered that earlier.
7. Is there any reality shows which you would recommend?
I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here UK version because America's probably raped it.
Rich Winger XLR 8. Cinematic Savage. This is for your January Q&A. And what do you think of the Nightmare on Elm Street series?
1 was awesome, 2 was shit, 3 was amazing, 4 and 5 were okay, 6 was shit, New Nightmare was shit, Freddy vs. Jason was shit, haven't seen the remake but I heard it was shit.
Shorty Maker 2. Again. What do you think of the Michael Myers series?
Dude, please watch my reviews before sending in questions because I reviewed every Myers film.
Are you gonna review Santa's Sleigh?
That's a bit late now, it's January.
And do you like any reality shows?
Answered that like twice now.
B Slim 81. Number 1. What are your favorite reviews from Film Brain and Mike J, respectively?
Film Brain is probably either Mission Impossible 2 or Evan Almighty, and Mike J probably Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, although Home Alone 4 was a great review.
Number 2. Knowing your hatred for the Jason movies, what was it about Part 6 that made it a good movie?
Okay, people have been wondering this. Okay, basically, I hate Jason because there's no story and no effort put in whatsoever. You just got Jason and then a bunch of random characters we don't know and don't give a fuck about thrown in, and we're all like, okay, they're the victims, they're all gonna die. Maybe we'll get one fucking survivor, but he won't make it into the sequel, will he? Whereas this one continued a story from 4 and 5, although it basically erased 5 from existence, and rightfully so. It kept the story going. I actually thought Tommy Jarvis was a decent character, although Halloween would then later rip it off with Paul Rudd, but Paul Rudd actually did it better. But they kept it going. I thought the story was good, where he went insane and had to face off with Jason. I thought it was just well done, actually well acted, other than the kids. But such a great, I thought it was a really good film. I would actually say it's a great film.
Number 3. What genre do you prefer, and what movie from that particular genre was your favorite and least favorite?
I like any genre. Horror, comedy. My favourite horror is The Lost Boys. Comedy, my favourite comedy is Borat. Least favourite horror, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Least favourite comedy, the least favourite comedy is the worst movie of all time. There's a little hint for you.
Number 4. Are there any movies that you consider a guilty pleasure?
Drop Dead Fred.
XS Layerish says, have you ever fucked a baby? I have.
Just the one time, and it was purely experimental.
Dial Fox. Also, what do you think about the US and UK versions of The Office?
Never even attempted to watch them.